What is up guys, I'm Spear and today I'm going to show you a fun little setup that'll allow you to create vocals that kinda sound like GLaDOS from Portal. Now if you've never played Portal, GLaDOS is a female robot with a very cool personality and she sounds something like this.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Now this was of course the intro to the credit song from Portal 1, but recreated within Reason using this setup that I'm going to explain to you right now. First up, you'll want to chuck in an audio track. Now we're not going to actually synthesize this voice, we'll rather use our own voice and some nifty little tricks using Neptune, which is basically Reason's autotune, to get to this kind of sound. So first up, you'll want to record the lyrics that you want GLaDOS to sing using your own voice. And you'll want to record it in the right rhythm and in the right articulation, but not necessarily in the right melody. I found it works best if you just record the whole thing on one note and make sure you get the lyrics right. So let's just go ahead and try that for this intro. This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Alright, of course this sounds like nothing, but we'll change that right away. We'll go into the insert effects on our audio track and chuck in a Neptune, which is under the Reason devices. Now we'll right click the Neptune and create a track for Neptune 2. This allows us to send MIDI information to the Neptune, and the Neptune will handle the MIDI information depending on what you choose right here in the MIDI section. It'll either send it to the pitch adjust or to the voice synth. And you'll want to make sure that the MIDI is sent to the pitch adjust. It's sent to the pitch adjust by default, so you should be okay. What you can do now is you can control what melody your voice is singing using your keyboard. Or if you don't have a keyboard, you'll just create a MIDI clip and draw in some MIDI notes right here. We'll want to make a few more adjustments on the Neptune though. We'll bring up the correction speed all the way, so the lyrics are always on key. And we'll also turn on deformant and bring the shift up to 25. That is about where GLaDOS likes to sit. Now we can go ahead and just jam out using our keyboard and we'll create a nice vocal melody.
I'm making a note here, huge success.
Let's go right ahead and try to record the whole melody for this intro.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Alright, there you go. Now that we've got the melody down, we can do some further processing on this. First up, I'll just chuck in a de-esser from Celic Audio, the Celic de-esser, which is absolutely the best rack extension for this kind of thing, and it'll just get rid of some of the harsh S sounds in the vocals. Next up, I'm going to apply some Scream 4 distortion using the tape algorithm to make it all a bit more even and also sound a bit more techy and more robot-y. Next up, I'm just gonna create an echo unit to make it blend in more with the guitar and just to make it pop out less, but I'll bring the dry wet down quite a bit. And I'm also gonna bring the time down to 1/8. And then I'm going to use a reverb just to round things off. There you go.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
Now if there are some parts that you don't really like, you can get into the MIDI clip and edit the notes so they fit right into the rhythm of your audio track. But I'm not gonna do that little detail things right now. I think you get what the setup is all about, and I think it's quite powerful actually.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success.
Right. Now you can use this setup not only to sound like GLaDOS, which is absolutely awesome, but you can also use it in some more creative ways. For example, I actually got into this kind of setup and I actually stumbled over it while I was trying to create a reference for a vocalist that I'm working with currently on a track. I tried to send her something so she would know what I'd like the vocals to be. So the lyrics, I mean, what I'd like the lyrics to be, but also what I'd like the melody to be and what I'd like the flair to be and the style. So I just sang in the stuff myself, but it sounded absolutely horrible. And I used the Neptune to tune all the things, and I brought the format up, and suddenly there was this GLaDOS sound that I really dug. So I really dig it, which is what I mean to say. And yeah, so this is one way you could use this, to give a reference to a vocalist that you're working with. Another way would be to actually use these vocals in a track. Now, I have not done this before, but I did do some experimentation on an old track of mine that Morley and I did, which is called Hope. And I just added a little bit of a vocal shout right before the drop, and then a stutter throughout the drop. And I think it sounds quite nice, and it uses exactly the same setup as the one that we've just built. Give it a listen. Please excuse the completely random lyrics right here. Well, anyway, I hope this tutorial was somehow useful for you. It's a lot of fun to play around with these kind of vocal melodies, and it's frankly a lot of fun to sound like a female robot. Anyway, that's it for me. Have a good one of whatever you're having, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Spew on YouTube. You should subscribe if you want more. There's links to all his stuff in the description.